So again, we're gonna talk about my problems with this game. So don't let that overwrite everything else. You know, like I said, I did enjoy it overall. I thought it was a positive experience. I'm glad I played it. But first off, let's start with something super obvious. The netcode scares me. It's really weird, and it's why I can't come to a particularly good or a particularly decisive conclusion about it. Hey, Afro Samurai, how you doing? We're we're in the middle of discussing my thoughts on the game because like I'm about to turn my stream off and the beta is gonna end. So yeah, the netcode. It's so weird. It's so hit or miss. Like I said, I've never been able to, at least knowingly, connect to anyone in Europe and play that smoothly, but I don't know if I've ever connected to anyone in North America at the same time and had it been as laggy as it was in a few of those matches. Now, granted, I think the major problem, as I said the other day, is this doesn't work very well. The connection status sorting thing, because it's just so all over the place. You know, like I said, I've had 2-bar connections against people in Europe, perfectly fine, smooth, amazing. I've had 4-bar connections against people who are listed as being in North America, and it is unplayable, just frustrating trash. So, I mean, if they can sort this thing out, so it actually, like, you know, well, sort people properly, and 4-bar connections are actually 4-bar connections, and I can straight up avoid people, and it properly sets people with garbage connections as 2-bar, or maybe even 3-bar, you know, it can be avoided. It's like how Dragon Ball, a lot of the time is very, very annoying to play unless you set very strict settings, like 4-bar connection plus. And I'm not expecting every game to be ticking. Ticking is just phenomenal as far as I can tell in terms of its netcode. And I know the publisher is the same. Allegedly, like, the developers are close between these two games, or the two series, but I don't know. Hopefully they can figure that out. But yeah, if the netcode is bad, that in and of itself is a deal breaker. But again, I can't tell. It's just sometimes good, sometimes bad. And for the most part, though, the game's been pretty good. So I mean, at least that, you know, in terms of averages, it's good. You know, it's not like some days with Street Fighter where it's just unplayable the entire day. Second point. Oh, okay, hold on a second. I said 3, didn't I? What were my points? I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay, so this is another... This is less to do with the gameplay. My third point, I think, is the most concerning. So I'm going to get to that one last. Voldo, I played him a few times. Voldo was kind of interesting. But anyway. My second concern is Day 1 DLC. That is so scuzzy. I despise that business practice. That on its own would be a deal breaker if I was playing this game as an individual. Like, I wasn't a streamer. I'd just be like, well, fuck that. I'm just not going to get it. But the thing is, again, I stream games. You know, when I stream a game like this, like a fighting game or something, like, I really get into it. I learn the ins and outs. I'm going to, you know, strive to be extremely good at it and invest a lot of time in it and show off the content for you guys as well. You know, it's like I'm sharing the gameplay with you guys. It's not just, well, it is just me playing it, but, you know, it's like it's not just me playing it. Yeah, and then they put her in the beta. It's like, hey, look at this character. So, you know, it's like she's clearly in the game. Well, I guess this is not exactly the game client, but she's clearly finished, you know? And it's just like, Day 1 she's available, and it's like, oh, by the way, you gotta pay for this. Like, go fuck yourselves. Like, seriously. And it's the real shame, because I don't think the developers decide shit like that. That's the money people. It's the marketing people. It's whoever the hell it is. It's the soulless shitbags who decide stuff like that. So that's unfortunate. Again, I don't know. Is it fair to punish the developers for, you know, the crimes of the soulless automatons who do their best to pretend they're people, but then just fuck you over in situations like that? I don't know. So that's the thing to consider. The third thing, and this is my main concern from a gameplay perspective, is I really, really don't like... Well, really, really don't like is maybe strong. I really don't like the whole reversal edge mechanic. It just seems... It seems anti-skill. And again, I know there's ways to, like, avoid the situation entirely. You can just, like, not get countered by it. You can armor break the thing when people are doing something. Like, there's moves that break it out. You can sidestep it. I don't know, just the fact that that system exists, period, and then it rewards you by giving you bar because you guessed correctly and you're playing rock, paper, scissors versus someone. I hope high-level play just totally sidesteps that portion of gameplay. And, like, because I'm not a Soul Calibur person. I don't really know how this game is going to look at high level. I wish I probably should, you know, maybe check some VODs or someone, you know, someone who really knows Soul Calibur. Because like I said, I've never played a Soul Calibur game before. This is my first one. I don't know, like, if when people are really good, it just basically never happens and is not an issue, I can forgive it. Just the fact that the system exists, though, is, I don't know, it's worrying. Yeah, I don't know, if they maybe tweak the system so it doesn't give meter, that'd be fine. Like, I don't mind the idea of this avoidable, like, parry counterattack stance thing. Because, you know, they're doing it, you sidestep it, whatever. It's a way to get out of pressure. Like, that's fine. It sort of seems to overlap with the whole advancing guard mechanic, so that's a bit weird. But I don't know, then if you, like, neuter the system so, like, you don't really do much damage out of it, or, you know, it's super safe, like, they make the defensive options better, or it doesn't give meter, it's just like, why does this system exist? I don't know, it's just wasting time with the cinematic? I don't know. But I don't know, it just seems like it's very anti-skill to me. Guard who lower skill plays. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. That worries me. Maybe I'll do some more research on that topic. So, the fact that there are these 3 major flaws to the game, and then that I'm still considering getting it at all, I think speaks to the sort of the other core mechanics, and how fun it is. Because I really did enjoy the beta, outside of the things I've mentioned. But, you know, because like anything else, if it wasn't so much fun, those, like, 3 major problems like that, that's pretty deal breakers. Like, 3 problems. Pretty bad. But, I don't know. We'll see. We have some thinking to do as to whether or not I'll end up getting the game in the long run. I mean, and if I don't, I still have Dragon Ball FighterZ and Tekken as the games I've been focusing on the last little bit, so... Or Tekken I've been starting up, at the very least. But yeah, that's it from me. That's my little spiel there.